Imagine a car with a massive 8.0-liter V10 engine, 400 horsepower, zero traction control, no anti-lock brakes, and enough raw torque to rip a hole in reality. Now, imagine designing that car today. You'd need supercomputers, advanced aerodynamic simulations, and a small army of software engineers, right? Wrong. In the late 1980s, a rogue team of engineers at Chrysler did the impossible. They built the legendary Dodge Viper without using a single digital computer for its core engineering. No computer-aided design for the chassis, no digital simulations for the suspension, just slide rules, clay models, blueprints drawn by hand, and pure, unadulterated gut instinct. This is the insane story of how America's most brutal supercar was engineered entirely by human hands, and why we will never see anything like it again. It all started in 1988. Chrysler executive Bob Lutz wanted a modern-day AC Cobra, a sports car stripped of all luxury, built purely for the thrill of driving. He pitched the idea to automotive icon Carroll Shelby, who immediately signed on. But there was a massive problem. Chrysler was just recovering from a near bankruptcy. Management wasn't about to hand over millions of dollars and precious mainframe computer time for a high-risk halo car. Back then, computing power was scarce and incredibly expensive. The few mainframe computers Chrysler owned were locked away, dedicated entirely to boring, high-volume economy cars. So, Chrysler chief engineer Roy Schoberg had to get creative. He handpicked a team of 85 engineers, affectionately known as Team Viper. Their mission? Build a working supercar in less than 3 years, with a shoestring budget and completely off the digital grid. While other manufacturers were starting to experiment with early computer-aided design, Team Viper went old school. Every single curve of the Viper's body, every weld point on its tubular steel frame, and every suspension geometry angle was calculated using mathematics, slide rules, and draft paper. If an engineer wanted to change the shape of a fender, they didn't click a mouse. They grabbed a carving knife and physically shaved a 1-to-1 scale clay model. But you can't have a supercar without a legendary engine. And without computers to simulate airflow and combustion, Team Viper had to look at what Chrysler already had on the shelf. Enter the LA Casting, a massive cast-iron V10 designed for heavy-duty Ram pickup trucks. It was powerful, sure, but it weighed as much as a small planet. You can't put a giant block of industrial iron into the front of a nimble sports car. It would handle like a shopping cart with a broken wheel. So what do? If you're Chrysler in 1989, you leverage the fact that you secretly own Lamborghini. Chrysler shipped the iron truck engine blueprints over to Italy. The maestros at Lamborghini looked at the hand-drawn schematics and completely re-engineered the block out of lightweight aluminum. Without computers to optimize fuel injection and valve timing, the engineers relied on physical testing. They cast prototype parts, bolted them together, slapped them onto a physical dynamometer, and ran them until they blew up. They tuned the engine by ear, adjusting the fuel flow and exhaust notes based on how the metal vibrated and screamed on the test stand. The result? An 8.0-liter all-aluminum monster that produced 400 horsepower and a monumental 465 pound-feet of torque. By today's standards, that sounds modest. In 1992, it was absolutely apocalyptic. Now here's where the no-computer reality truly hits home for the driver. Because there were no computers used in the engineering, there were no computers built into the car. Modern supercars use electronic control units to keep you from spinning into a tree. They have ABS to pump the brakes, traction control to tame the rear wheels, and electronic stability control to fix your mistakes. The Gen 1 Dodge Viper had none of that. It didn't have traction control, it didn't have ABS, it didn't even have exterior door handles or real glass windows, just canvas curtains with zippers. Because Team Viper couldn't use computers to simulate how the chassis would react to a crash or a sudden loss of traction, they engineered the car with massive mechanical safety margins. The tires were comically wide, 335 millimeters in the rear, simply because the engineers knew that mechanical grip was the only thing keeping the driver alive. The car didn't have a brain. You were the brain. If you messed up, physics took over instantly. Testing was brutal. Without computer crash simulations, they had to physically crash real prototypes to see where the frame buckled. Test drivers had to take these analog prototypes out onto the track and push them to the absolute limit, risking their lives to find out where the mechanical breaking points were. By the time the Dodge Viper went on sale in 1992, it shocked the world. It was crude, it was loud, it burned your legs on the side exhaust pipes just getting out of the car, and it was an instant icon. It proved that a small group of passionate humans with pencils, clay, and raw mechanical know-how could out-engineer the digital future. The Viper eventually evolved, adopting computers, advanced aerodynamics, and safety tech before it was finally discontinued in 2017. But that original Gen 1 car remains a monument to a bygone era. It was the last pure analog supercar, built without a single line of code, designed by eye, tuned by ear, and driven by guts. Would you have the courage to tame a 400 horsepower V10 with absolutely zero digital safety nets? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more insane automotive history, and we'll see you in the next one.